But at 12 weeks, she learned that one of the twins she was carrying had trisomy 18, a rare chromosomal condition making survival highly unlikely.
You never think that your pregnancy journal is just going to turn into a horror novel.
Because her fetus still had a heartbeat, she couldn't get an abortion under the law in Texas, and she's not alone.
How many of you were told you could not receive an abortion because the baby still had a heartbeat? All of you.
Well, there are huge consequences to being denied an abortion, even when the fetus has severe abnormalities. And that consequence is increased infant mortality. That has in fact spiked in Texas following their passage of abortion bans. Now, researchers from Johns Hopkins University looked into this, and the way that they conducted their study is they looked at how many infants had died before their first birthday after Texas had adopted its abortion ban in September of 2021. And the researchers then compared the infant deaths in Texas to those in 28 other states, some of which, by the way, had passed some anti-abortion laws themselves. And here's what they found in their research. Infant mortality increased by 12.9% from 2021 to 2022 in Texas after Texas's near total ban on abortion was enacted. And that's according to this study that was published in JAMA Pediatrics. A total of 2,243 Texas infants or children under 1 year died in 2022 compared to the 1,985 Texas infant deaths in 2021. So understand what this means, guys. If the doctors are refusing to conduct an abortion, mostly because they're afraid of litigation against them. Because, if they're taken to court and first of all, just being taken to court is obviously an incredibly expensive thing to have to deal with, a scary thing to have to deal with. They don't want to deal with that. And so they just play it safe by refusing to conduct an abortion if that fetus, despite its severe abnormalities, still has a heartbeat. And so what ends up happening is these women are forced to carry that pregnancy to term, forced to deliver that baby, and then that baby doesn't survive. And the doctors knew that baby wasn't gonna survive because they had detected those severe abnormalities when the baby was still a fetus inside the mother's womb. And so it's absolutely heartbreaking because you see these effects, Cenk, and you would think like, maybe they would reconsider how insanely strict this law is in order to, even if, all right, they want to ban people from aborting healthy pregnancies, which I think is a terrible idea, but at least have a decent, carve out or something to allow for people who have severe abnormalities in the fetus to have the abortion so they don't have to go through the torture of watching their baby die.
Yeah. Having to carry it to full term and then watch their baby die. It's not like we don't have the science to figure out when it's going to happen. We do. It's just that the Taliban states are not allowing it to happen. You got to make a decision the first 6 weeks. Basically, that means 2 weeks that you know that you're pregnant.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, and you know nothing about it, right? Does it have a condition that's going to cause it to die no matter what? Doesn't matter. Shut up. Your body is now the property of the state. So that's not hyperbole. Women's bodies in the red states that have passed these laws are the property of the government. And they are not allowed to take out something inside them, even if they know it's going to die. No, the government says you must keep it inside you. You must go through that incredible trauma and then watch the baby die. What a sick, sick thing to say.
It's just, it's unbelievably cruel. And I fail to understand how this is framed as pro-life among the religious right that has pursued these types of policies and unfortunately succeeded in enacting these types of policies. So here's some more reporting on the study. Among causes of deaths, birth defects showed a 23% increase compared to a decrease of about 3% in the rest of the United States. The Texas law blocks abortions after the detection of cardiac activity. It's not even a heartbeat at 6 weeks. It's important to know that.
It's not at all a heart. The heart has not formed yet.
Exactly.
It's a total lie.
So it's usually around 5 or 6 weeks into pregnancy, well before tests are even done to detect fetal abnormalities. So it's really, two issues here. The abortion ban sets in when it's already like sets in before the doctors can even do the appropriate test to see if there are fetal abnormalities. And then later into the pregnancy, when it is detected that there are severe fetal abnormalities and that fetus is not going to survive, the doctors don't want to abort it because they detect a heartbeat and they're afraid that they're going to deal with prosecution should they abort the fetus. It's just awful.
And it makes the doctors violate their pledge of doing no harm. They have to say, and this is a brutal calculation to Anna's point, they have to say, my interest of staying out of jail are more important than the interest of your health. And by the way, some of those pregnancies can kill the women.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to go to jail. So I'm going to do harm to you, my patient, because the government of Texas demands it. Otherwise they'll imprison me. And which part of this sounds like freedom to you? Now you could say, hey, listen, Cenk, I'm super pro-life and I get it. I believe in freedom, like if it's something really oppressive, like a mask. Oh, a mask, or sunglasses, something superficial. I can't have that, that's against my freedom. But snatching your body, making maybe like a rapist child grow inside of you, or something that's not even going to live, I don't care. I want to take that freedom away. You have to be honest about it. It's okay, you can say, hey, I don't like that freedom. I like other freedom, but I'm not that one. But at least have the decency to be honest and say, no, I don't think women, the minute women are pregnant, they lose all freedom over their body, they lose their rights, and now they're the property of the government for 9 months. That's a fact. If that fact, you're totally comfortable with it, okay, then call yourself pro-life and throw a goddamn party, okay? But that is a fact.
Yeah.
So, and then finally, I don't believe any of you are pro-life. Well, Jake, what do you mean? I talk about zygotes all the time. Well, are you in favor of funding to make sure we have less deaths after the kids are born? No. Are you in favor of more health care? No. Did you mind when 15,000 kids were slaughtered in Gaza? No, I didn't mind. I kind of liked it, actually. Well, so which part of you are pro-life? Then you're not pro-life. So what are you? Why do you don't act pro-life in any other way? So why are we to believe that you're willing to take the freedom of women away because you're so pro-life, but only in this context? Sorry, but you haven't earned the right to have us believe you. The facts all indicate that you want to control women's bodies and go back to a time where they had less rights than us, and that men were in charge and they would tell a woman when to get pregnant, when to have the baby, and what their rights were and weren't, and the women didn't have freedom. Because it looks like that's what you're really rooting for.
Well, a story I'll cover tomorrow has to do with, they're doing it. Republicans are literally working on banning no-fault divorces. Like, anyway.
Insanity,
it is insanity. We're gonna cover that tomorrow.
The Republicans hate freedom. Just let's be super duper clear. You could say anything you want about the Democrats, but the Republicans despise freedom. Oh my God, you want to choose your own religion, your own faith, what to do with your body, etc. We hate that. You must follow our 2,000-year laws. Okay, whatever, piss off. I despise all of you guys. You do not control our lives. And you hate America, you hate freedom. For once in your life, why don't you be honest about it?
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.